welcome to another edition of All Ball Chicago. I'm your host, Marcus Liberty. My co-host is not here today, Robert Reed. He got some things he got to take care of, but I got my main man in the building.
What's going on?
Legend. He's a Peoria legend, right? Peoria was known for a comedian I call the GOAT.
The GOAT.
Mr. Pride. But they also produced a lot of those hoopers on that hardwood. All right, so please welcome my main man, Jerrance Howard, to the show, baby.
What's going on? Thanks for having me, Led. What's up? You know how I feel about you. Thanks. This is an honor. I'm super excited. I don't miss a show. You know, ever since you guys been doing it in COVID, it was something that I was looking forward to every day and every week, and it brought almost, you know, not only people from Chicago but all over the state of Illinois together, and the stories, you know, having all the guys on and the teams from Chicago King to Westinghouse. I grew up watching those teams, going downstate, and so it's been a privilege, and I really applaud you and salute to you and your brother doing All Ball Chicago. This is dope.
Man, that's what's up, man. And we did have David Booth on early on in the show when we first got going, and David Booth was on our show, man, kicking it, rocking.
Legendary. You can't talk Peoria basketball without David Booth.
That's right.
Saying his name.
That's right. So let's talk about some of those legends, man, that came out of Peoria, man, that they just don't get a lot of credit, you know, to because Chicago is so big, and then you go downstate, you know, to Peoria. And then I remember going down there for one of your events, actually, man, and it's nothing but love. You know, you get a lot of love down in Peoria. So name some of the guys, some of the players that just don't get their just due, you know, from the state of Illinois.
That's a great question. I think you have to start off with A.J. Guyton. You know, people going to say I'm biased because that's one of my best friends. You know, I grew up, he kind of raised me, but, you know, what he did wasn't really highly recruited. You know, people, Missouri Valley, you know, the Big Ten came in late. I remember Tom Izzo, that was the first time meeting Izzo. He came to our high school. I was a freshman when AJ was a senior. And, you know, he always could shoot, but was just skilled, and, you know, played with Larry Butler for the Illinois Warriors. And so he got played with Mike Robinson, Steve Dixon, and Melvin Eli and those guys, and, you know, got on the national scene at remember the big time AAU tournament in Vegas? He got MVP there. So he's recruited, kind of picked up his senior year, but Bob Knight came in, and we had, I remember Chris Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
He played with my brother on that state championship where they lost in state in triple overtime to East St. Louis. I was the ball boy on that team.
Wow.
Yeah, Tyrone Howard, Mike Hughes, Mike Kurtzy, Chris Reynolds. I mean, that's the team I grew up on. It was my hero. So, you know, so we had guys to go Division I, but Chris Reynolds, you know, went to Indiana. So my high school coach, Chuck Bisher, who's a Hall of Famer, had a relationship with Bobby Knight. And, you know, I remember Coach Knight coming in, and Erickson Beck, another guard, picked AJ up 94 feet.
Whoa.
And that was like regular, you know, like, and when Coach, you know, Knight saw that, where here's a kid that could, you know, supposed to be a shooter that could bring the ball up against, because Erickson was, you know, considered one of the best defenders, on the ball defenders in the state. So he came in and did his thing and went to Indiana, was an All-American freshman of the year, you know, left early. And, you know, I think with him not, you know, having a successful, you know, career as far as the NBA wise, he don't get his just, but from, you know, where we from, growing up to see him play. And then you talk about Sean Livingston, you look at his story, you know, I tell people all the time, it needs to be a movie. I mean, it needs to be a movie about him, from, you know, coming out of high school, going straight to the NBA, and, you know, everybody knows about the injury, and then coming back and bouncing all over there to be an NBA champion, not once, but twice, but 3 times. And, you know, he got a beautiful family, 2 little girls. And, I mean, he's been such a role model for our whole city, you know, whether you're old or young. And then you talked about, you know, David Booth and Howard Nathan, those guys from Peoria Manual. David was a guy who played against my brother. I grew up watching, and he was a guy that could do some at all. He was just, you know, he could put it on the floor, good mid-range, but had a great career at DePaul, and he's doing big things in the NBA now, you know, at the executive level. And he's going to just work his way up. I wouldn't be surprised he won't be a GM here soon and running his own organization there. And then you got to, I wouldn't say he doesn't get his just, but the late great Howard Nathan. When you talk about Peoria basketball, you talk about Howard Nathan. He was Liv. He was like how people looked up to you, looked up to Ronnie Fields and D Rose. He was like our Michael Jordan.
He was
that you could touch him and feel him. He was in the community. He played at every park, and we had this deal called the Gus Macker downtown Peoria 3-on-3 tournament. Him, David Booth, and Clint Ford, and then they bring somebody, Rashad Griffin. They bring somebody for a fourth, but it didn't matter. They won every year, and he would just put on a show in front of the whole Peoria, where we would play downtown and live. I'm talking about the scenery of the Rutgers Park where people, on top of the buildings watching. We had a parking deck downtown Peoria, 4 levels, and every time Howard and David played, the downtown, the whole Peoria, the whole city came out, and those are the things that Howard Nathan and David Booth brought to our community and brought to our city. But I think Peoria itself, nationwide, people know at the end of the day that it's Richard Pryor and Peoria basketball.
That's right. You can't get no better than that, man.
Exactly.
Richard Pryor, baby, and
the GOAT.
Go ahead.
No, I said the GOAT. As you said.
and I remember, man, my first, taste of Peoria, man, was playing against Peoria Manual with David Booth and Jameer, those guys. Stuckey, was on that.
Stuckey, one of the best shooters. He led the country in scoring. I mean, his jump shot, him and Jamar Smith and AJ Guyton are the 3 best shooters to me. But right. Curtis Stuckey was a pretty boy. His shoes, I think Stuck may have wore new shoes every time he played. Really? But he went to Bradley and turned it out. I mean, it was he led the country in scoring after, and then it was Shaq.
Wow.
But, his jump shot was like a layup.
Yeah, so I remember that, man, and that was my first taste, and we snuck it out, man, and won that game, but they gave us a run for our money. That's why I like to give, not just Chicago a lot of publicity, but Peoria, it's other states, not other states, but other towns in the state of Illinois that produces a lot of great athletes, man, and they just don't get their just due. So, but when you was mentioning about you as a shorty and you was that ball boy, now I see where you get your drive for, because if you're a ball boy, man, you watching everything that's going on.
In the trenches. Yeah. You in those huddles and with my brother playing on the team, rest his soul, Tyrone Howard, he was this is why I fell in love with you. And if you go ask anybody about Peoria basketball, my brother was the first big point guard. He was 6'6" doing dimes. And Sean Livingston favorite players is Frank Williams, who's after Nate, to me, I'm biased. To me, the best player I ever played with, Frank. And we'll talk about Frank, and you know about it because you've seen him. But Sean mimicked his game after Frank and my brother. But my brother loved you because you was a big point guard. Right. And when I first found about you through my brother, and I fell in love with Illinois basketball because of you and Bardo and Gill and y'all team, because my big brother was like, he didn't miss anything. And, being a shorty, I was right there with him. So that's why when I got the job at Illinois, I was nervous. I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I haven't been on the road. But when I called you and I called Bardo and I called Kendall and y'all said, young fella, whatever you need is love, I was good. And every time I called y'all, and I probably never even told you this because it was just off the strength and it was just understood. But like when you came to Peoria, you're like, man, when I need to be there. And it was love. And every time I needed you or called you guys, y'all showed me love. And that meant a lot to me. I'm forever grateful for that, because for you guys to grow up on you, the reason why I wanted to go to Illinois and then to have a relationship with you guys and for you guys to treat me how you guys embrace me, I'll never forget that. And that's what it's all about. I'll be telling people about, Illinois basketball. We don't get together like we need to, but at the end of the day, we like this when it comes to it. And y'all started that. Y'all started that.
Wow, man. Now, but what I was going to go to was, you see the floor. You see what's going on. So you watch in different positions, and you probably was saying, you know what, I'm going to be a point guard. So I need to start watching the point guards and seeing what they doing, how they orchestrating things, how they putting guys in their place. right? So when you get the opportunity, you started. Did you start 4 years at high school at your
Most
team?
definitely. Yep. And I played with AJ Guy as a freshman. He was a senior.
Yeah. So you knew to get the ball to him because he's a shooter, he's a scorer, he can put that
Most
thing.
definitely, yeah. I'm in the game because to get him the ball.
Yeah. So you was that point guard. So then when you get to, that opportunity to go play at the University of Illinois, I know you mentioned already you was excited about the program before you even got there.
Most
So
definitely. It's my dream school.
right.
Yeah.
So you get an opportunity to play. Now, who was the coach then? Was that
I got recruited by Lon Kruger.
Kruger?
So a lot of people don't know this. I played for all three coaches. I was recruited by Lon Kruger. I came in, I redshirted, and he left to take the Atlanta Hawks job. Now here come Coach Self. I played for Coach Self. We win the Big Ten 3 years in a row. Go to the Elite Eight. We lost to go to the Final Four to Arizona in San Antonio. Coach gets the job at Kansas. My last year, I was about to leave, and Coach McClain was the reason why I got the job at Illinois, the reason why I graduated from Illinois, the reason why I am where I'm at, because he had a lot to do with my success, because he stood on different things where he made you responsible, and you had to be on time, and he held you accountable. And that's what drove me to coach when I played for him. But, Coach Self leaves and go to Kansas. Then Coach Weber come in my last year. So I had 2 senior nights, and I played for 3 coaches. And I would do this. I wouldn't want to change any of my story, because I had a ball. I love University of Illinois, because I found my passion through adversity. Because I could have came home and transferred to Bradley, but I love the school. I love my teammates. I was like, this bigger than me, and I found my passion in coaching, because I was like everybody else. Live. I want to go to the league, and at the worst, I'm going overseas.
Right.
But going through that and finding out that by my junior year that I wanted to coach, I started right away. And the game of basketball and the different programs and the different people I've been with, I've been blessed to be around some great atmospheres and some great people.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And I remember watching you guys play back then too, because I'm a big Illinois fan,
Right.
I play there, man. But every time they used to come on television, if I was overseas, if I was doing something, or I was playing in the stage, I'm watching, I'm glued. So I remember.
And you came back, Liv. You always came back. If we had a function or coaching them wanted you to come down and speak, or you just want to come watch us play and get out and practice. That used to mean so much to me when you guys used to walk in the building and walk in the gym. It was like, there go them boys, you know what I mean? Like, we used to want to rock the orange jerseys because of y'all.
Right.
We used to want to do everything y'all did. And so when I get the job at Illinois, it was so easy. To me, it was like a layup for me to sell. Right. Like, I'm going to these homes because I'm speaking of what I feel and what I believe in, and they could feel it. And so I thought it was a home run for me to start off my career at the University of Illinois, because I was so passionate about the program and what you guys built and what we kept going.
Yeah, and that was and my thing, man. It slipped, it dipped a little bit, right. The program, but I was still supportive of it. I still
at all times. That's so cool. Yeah.
I still wanted to get them top dogs out of Chicago, man. Right. And and that's another subject we can talk about another day. But I just wish that sometimes that you have guys that wants to like yourself, who from the state wanted to be involved, wanted to get on that bench and recruit guys, and then you got guys in Chicago who want to do the same thing. You got Keith Garrison who wanted to, who wants to get into coaching, myself who wants to get into coaching, Deion Thomas who's doing his thing now with the university, but I'm pretty sure D Brown is getting into coaching.
Definitely, yeah, UIC,
so all those guys, that I mentioned, and Kenny Battle. I know Kenny Battle wanted to get into coaching as well. So I think he's coaching somewhere now anyway, JUCO somewhere, Kenny Battle.
Yeah. Matter of fact, he just called me. Yeah, I just talked to KB, yeah.
Okay, so but Jerrance, when you started getting into this game, man, we know it's a grimy game. People start talking and people start saying this and about certain programs and all that. But you are at Kansas, man. That's like
blue
blood, baby. And I'll tell the listeners a story, man. When I was working with this sports agent, you was there, and I remember coming to the
game.
The first time I was there, it was during your midnight,
Or late night.
yeah, the late night
Right,
thing.
right.
I was like, man, if I was a top 5, top 10 recruit and I came to see this, those
it.
fans, man, packed the
Yeah.
house. Man, it's loud in there, man,
Right,
and
right, right, right.
the players doing all these dunks and playing, and Bill just
Good
coach up,
times.
let
Good
them do their
times.
thing. And I'm like, I would have signed on the dotted line. I wouldn't even left. I'm like, I'm
That's why
signing.
we always have we be having about 50 recruits there.
Yeah, man. So that atmosphere down there, a lot of people don't know unless you actually go to those games, man.
Right. I
It's
tell
bananas,
people all the time, Lib, you can't explain it. You got to come feel it. I
man.
mean,
It's
you think about it, 16,300 fans sold out for the last 25 years. So when our guys step out, if they're there for 4 years, they don't play less than a sellout. Every game on TV. And I mean, that's why it's my hashtag. It's just different.
It is.
I can't even tell you. You got to come feel it. I mean, this is where the game of basketball was invented, and the fans are unbelievable. I mean, they treat you like family. It's more than just basketball. Like our fans don't really like one and dones, Lib. They want to see, because our senior night is so important. It's such a big tradition here. They get mad sometimes. You know, they want to see you grow up and from the freshman to a senior and see your progress. So it's a great town. It's a great community. We get the best of both worlds. Kansas City only 30 minutes away, 40 minutes. So every entertainment, we just saw Cedric Entertainer there, and Anita Baker. So you got your college town, your basketball school, and then when you want to get away with the family and get away and just enjoy yourself, you can go to Kansas City. So it's a great setup here.
And you are blessed. And you are actually, under, a great coach, man.
Coach,
he shows me love every time I see him, man. He gives me a big hug. We talk.
And it's genuine. It's real.
Yeah, man, right. You feel that. And I'm pretty sure that's why a lot of the kids that he recruits, love him and want to go there and play for him because of that genuine that you just talked about, and that sincere, and he really cares. He'll go to the hood and actually meet people in the hood.
Be comfortable. Be comfortable. Be comfortable. Yeah.
I know he did that with Sharon Collins. He went.
Well, Sharon lives here in Lawrence because of Coach.
We tried to get him on, man.
Yeah.
So
I got you, Lib. Even if I got to bring him to the house, I got you. I felt when I was when AJ Guyton was with the Bulls. When Jordan was still hooping out hoops, and Sharon was a shorty. He was the only high schooler up there, and Mike used to let him get it in. And that's when I first heard about Sharon. And I was like, man, this is a bad boy. I mean, he should come in one side braided, one side fro, and get busy. Get busy. But Chicago basketball, see, people don't know about this. My dad is from Chicago, from the West Side. He grew up. He went to Crane High School.
What?
Yeah. Larry Snake Howard, 6'7", played for the Gold Trotters, moved to Peoria. So I got roots from Chicago. I know I don't never claim it because I'm so proud of my city. I was born and raised, but Chicago basketball been so good to me, and I'm a part of it. I play AAU basketball with Larry Butler with the Illinois Warriors. Like I just FaceTime with Darius Miles and Quentin Richardson. They about to get D. Will on their show, and I FaceTime with them for 20 minutes. When I used to come to Chicago, I used to stay with Q, and me and D. Miles used to stay with Q for the weekends.
Wow.
And so I was about to, if people don't know this, I was about to transfer to Whitney Young. It was going to be like Dennis Gates, Cordell Henry, them was all my teammates. And we were like this. I mean, we spent summers together. Like, I mean, from Thursday night to Monday morning, I was with these guys.
Wow.
And I was like, man, but my mama was not going.
Boy, no.
No, she wasn't going, but, and my AAU coach, Larry Butler, if anybody know him, you know what taps? They call me taps because I could dribble.
Okay.
You know what taps? It wouldn't be a bad situation. Come to the city. You do you and Cordell in the backcourt. Yeah. So, but yeah, I was thinking about it was, and then D Miles mom wouldn't let him do it. We was all trying to. I'll never forget. We was all trying to go to Whitney Young.
Man, that would have been crazy.
Crazy.
Man, that would have been so crazy. But man, yeah, let's talk a little bit about that, man. That Chicago basketball. What, when you guys, because when you coaching and you was, doing your recruiting, and you getting like point guards out of the city,
Right.
and talk about some of the guards that you saw, in Chicago when you were doing your recruiting, whether that was at Illinois, whether that was at Kansas, Texas A&M, wherever, you were at. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, no matter where I'm at, if it's D2, JUCO, if I'm blessed to be assistant coach, head coach one day, I will always recruit the city of Chicago. I say like this: Peoria is the mecca of small town hoops, and Chicago is the mecca of basketball. It's something that you can't teach. It's that grit, it's that toughness, it's that will to compete and not want to lose, and to show. Like what I like about it, when I first got to Illinois, to answer your question, the first one big time kid I wanted to I had to commit was Jabari Parker.
Okay.
And I may spill some beans. I may open up a little can of words, but deep down inside, Jabari Parker wanted to go to the University of Illinois.
Wow.
People don't know that. Sonny, his mom, he was so in love with the state school. He wanted to represent his state. It didn't have nothing to do with me. It didn't have nothing to do with Coach Weber. It had something to do with the University of Illinois. And I think kids grew up, and that's why I appreciate you guys and D. Will and D. Brown, those Final Four teams, because those guys grew up on those teams, just like I grew up watching you guys, Jabari Parker and Jeremy Richmond, Brandon Paul, DJ Richardson. They knew D. Brown and Darren Williams. So that's why I said it was a layup for me, I felt at times, because I had something to sell. And Jimmy Collins, that was like my hero, because they used to tell me all the stories. Like, you couldn't come in the city until Coach Collins got done.
That's right.
That was so cool to me. And I would say I want to be the baby Jimmy Collins because he had Chicago sold up. I used to hear Tracy Dildy and all those guys talk about the different things and the relationships he had, like especially with your coach. Like they was like that. That was like, and that's what I thought that was so cool, where they was looking out for each other. And they took care of each other. And that's how it's supposed to be. Like, I think it was a sense of loyalty, a sense of pride, where Coach Cox knew, it got me, bless his soul. I know we just lost him. And one thing, I got to tell you a story about him too. Because he came to Peoria with the Twin Towers. River City Shootout, he played against Peoria Central. I'm still the ball boy. Tommy Hamilton, they beat us. And it was so cool because he coached, he had a presence. Like as soon as he walked out on the court, I'm a ball boy, I'm at half court. And then when I seen him, I stopped. And Coach, he was so smooth. Tailor-made suit. He smelled good. I'm like, man, that's Coach Cox. So I remember him that, when you don't have to say nothing and you walk into arena, and he had 2 7-footers with him. But he was powerful. But the way he coached and his style, and I never forget, after they won, Tommy Helmison walked off the floor and gave the crowd 2 middle fingers.
What?
And Coach Cox was like, get over here. And then right when he got in the locker room, he gave a little high five. it was so, I remember all this. I'm like 9, 10 years old. So, but it was, Coach Cox was, and then I used to see him always at the public league, at the Final Four at Chicago State. He'd be at the scoreboard, sitting at half court. And the first thing I do, I don't go speak to nobody. I go right to half court and go show my respects and say what's up. And so when I heard we lost him, that hit home for me. And I know how y'all felt about him.
Man, no doubt. And the same thing with Mr. McClain, Sergio.
Oh, man.
I felt the same way because I built some relationships with him, throughout the past, man. And every time I go to Illinois, man, Marcus, what's up, man?
Showed you love, made you comfortable. Yeah.
Me and him been buddies since day one, like since we were like shorty, since I was a shorty,
Coach McClain is the reason why I went to Illinois. Before I committed, the day before, and it's like Manual Central is like one of the biggest rivals in the state. Like when I didn't go to Manual, because I lived in Manual District, but that's a long story too.
Why you jump ship?
Yeah, right. So it was a little personal, but Coach McClain, once I made my commitments, to decide to go to play for Central, he knew because my brother went there. I was the ball boy for 10 years. He knew, he understood it, but he still showed me love. He still, like, I felt like I played for him at times. Now, don't get me wrong, I had a great high school coach and Coach Bisher and Dan Ruffin. They took care of me, but Coach McClain, he didn't show no, like, oh, forget him. He didn't come to Manual. He embraced me even more. And I remember having a talk at Manual. He said, man, Serge and Griff and Frank gonna be there. I want you to be a part of that. And it was the best decision, forget basketball, for my life, to go to the University of Illinois. And when I got there, he like I don't graduate. Like those 6 a.m. runs because you missed class, you're not missing the rest of the week.
Right.
Because he would literally get up, he would sit his chair in the middle of the half court and live. Sometimes he'd fall asleep. Because me, Lou, and A. Miles used to always be the ones running. And he'd just say, go. And then you just have to just keep running. And then when you say go again, you had to slide across half court. And he'd be there until he felt tired. But it was called the Breakfast Club. But to this day, when I'm a head coach, I'm gonna do that. Because it installed the discipline and structure in me. It held me accountable. And Coach McClain did so many things for people like that. I'm a better man and a better husband and a better father because of the stuff that he taught me. And they ain't had nothing to do with basketball. So the stuff he has in me, that's why I know his spirit, everything he do gonna live through a lot of us, everybody who played for him.
And let's talk a little bit about that though, Jerrance, about how, high school coaches, AAU coaches, let's talk a little bit about that, because I know I got some input. I want to, say that I don't think they discipline the kids like our Coach Cox and McClain, Sergio's
the parents though.
And it's the parents, you say, huh?
And half of it, it's a big turnoff. I don't care how good you are. If I see a kid, and let's say LeBron James, but how you treat your parents is on how you're going to treat your coach. So if you're disrespectful to your mom and daddy, I have no chance, because these people raised you.
Right.
And that's my biggest thing. I don't care. Like, be coachable. Like, that's how we pride ourselves in development. That's why we get 3-star players and they become pros.
Right.
We get our one and dones, but we pride ourselves because kids come here and they want to get better. Like, if you don't want to get better, why? Go pro. Don't. Right. So that's my biggest pet peeve. And I think it starts a lot of it with the high school coaches. A lot of these high school coaches scared to coach their best players. That's what make my boss really good. He don't care if you a McDonald's. He don't care if you a 2-star. You're going to get coached and coach hard, but coach the right way. So if I'm the best player on the team and Coach Self is on me about going hard and going off for loose balls, and I'm the player that's not so good, supposedly, it falls in line. So I think if anything, advice I could give any coaches, don't be scared to coach your best players. As a matter of fact, you need to coach them even harder.
That's
and
right.
set your tone.
Yeah. And I agree with you a lot, man. And I say this a lot, Jerrance, and you can tell me if you agree. It's levels to it, like what you did and what you accomplished in high school, it's over once you get to college. It's
nobody care about that.
It's
over. You gotta restart. You gotta reprove yourself.
Man. And I think a lot of kids take that number one in the country, McDonald All-American, to college, thinking they're going to dominate, to do the same thing. And then they see, man, these guys are stronger, faster. These are 3-year players, 4-year seniors that I'm playing with, much stronger, faster, and a little bit more smarter than me,
That understand the game. Yeah.
And I think people don't understand that when they get to that level. Like, well, man, I was a McDonald American. I did this, this, and that. But man, you at Kansas now. Man, you at Kentucky. You at these powerhouse schools now. So
nobody cares. And sometimes people go at you even harder if you're a McDonald's.
That's right.
Where they can prove something.
That's right. So you're at Kansas, man, and I see it. I know you're gonna be a head coach one day, and I know you have learned so much, from being under different coaches, man, that your time is coming, and I think you're gonna wait to that right fit and get the right school, maybe it's Illinois in a couple of years. I don't know, but, we would definitely love to see you, man, as a head coach, somewhere one day, and I know that's
my ultimate goal. And
you're not in the game just to be assistant coach, because
no.
It's like David Booth. Me and David Booth talks, a lot, and he's like, Marcus, I'm not just trying to be a scout.
Right.
I want to be the GM. I want to be, and now look what he's at.
And you started off as a scout, and that's why I say he continue to do this. Yeah, but I've been blessed. I've been blessed to be around some great people, and I've been spoiled. It's hard to leave Kansas, and I'm not even talking financially, but I'm just talking about from a culture standpoint, from Coach Self lets me scout. In this game, you can really get labeled as a recruiter, especially being young, African American, a guy that just go get players. But Coach Self has always installed in me of teaching and being able to draw up a play with 7 seconds left, and be able to know what we're doing, how we execute on defense, or we're going to hedge and go over on ball screens, or we're going to trap on ball screens coming out of timeouts, and preparing for scouting reports. Our scouting reports are, and you know how it is, it's so detailed where as a coach, we're watching 5 games prior to when we play them. We're putting together a package of personnel and strength and weaknesses, every play, every side out, every out of bounds plays. I go to bed thinking about what Texas Tech is going to run, and I wake up thinking about it. I mean, so it's more than just we on the phone or on the road trying to get players. And then when you get these guys, you got to develop them, and you can't be on the road too much because you got to have a personal relationship with these kids. Because if you don't have a personal relationship with them, you can't get to them. They're not going to play hard for you. They're not going to trust you because every kid wants to get help, but they got to believe you and trust you. So, and then you got a family. I got 2 babies who, when I come home, they don't want to hear nothing about no scouting report or who had a bad practice or where you going in the morning to catch a flight. And like little things like I never walk in the house on the phone. I learned this from a coach. He said, I sometimes be in the parking lot or spin around the block because you give me, I used to be able to come on the phone and be like, hey, I'm on the phone with this, this is the number 1 recruiting country. And my kids know, oh, my fault, Dad. So, and it's not fair for them. So little stuff like that, as you get older and mature, it's valuable. You want to take advantage of those little moments like that as a coach. So it's more than just recruiting. You got to balance it out. But all it is doing for me is preparing me to be a CEO, to run my own organization one day. And I can't wait. Man. I can't wait, man.
Just listening to you, man.
I can't wait.
Just listening to you, man. You sound like John Thompson. I remember John Thompson coming and recruiting me, man. And he wasn't even talking about my basketball. He was talking about me as a person, how he can help me become a better man. And me being who I was at that time.
He came to Chicago?
Yeah, he came to Chicago. I wasn't trying to hear that. I'm
like, right. How can I get to the league?
I'm like, dude, you coming to recruit me for basketball.
Right.
But I posted that on my, time.
I saw that, yeah.
That he was more than just a basketball coach. He was a father figure, literally, for a lot of those basketball players that played for him, man. And I think that's just as important as you playing basketball and making it to the NBA. And I see that a lot. I see that in you, man. And I think that's what's going to make you. But let's talk a little bit about this, Jerrance. I know you got to go because you got.
Oh, you good? Yeah.
But let's talk about, you see the guys in the NBA, they boycotted for that one day or what have you. Sure. I think they need to boycott something just, for the cause of what they all about, Like, for instance, I said something about Black coaches, getting that opportunity. So if you want to boycott something, you should boycott that. Like, man, we need more college Black coaches. We need more female coaches. We need more Black coaches in the NBA. We need more executives, in the NBA. Those type of things, if you were going to boycott, I would think that would be something you can stand for, stand on. And I just want to know why we don't have a lot of African-American coaches, whether that's in the NBA or college, we know they say, and I said this before, and I don't know if I think you were at Kansas then. Yeah, you were at Kansas. And I talked to Danny Manning.
Right.
And Danny Manning was like, well, I'm working towards my degree. Bill Self basically said, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to give you these 2 or 3 years, whatever, to finish and get your degree. If you don't do it in that time, then I can't do nothing. But Danny did his thing, got it. They created a job, they called him ambassador, whatever it was, of Kansas basketball until he got it going. But things like that helped him. And then he became a head coach.
Most definitely.
And that's what I'm talking about when I mentioned Coach Self, what he's all about, what he stands. He's actually trying to help, players become, coaches, or coaches become, head coaches, and I just don't see that no more, you know, and
That's why I've been spoiled. I can't speak on a lot of coaches because I've been blessed. Like I said, you know, I worked for the Hall of Famer Larry Brown at SMU for a year. And you know, the stuff I learned from him is legendary. But what I would say was that I think it's a problem is that we don't get an opportunity to even interview sometimes. Now, so you know, like I think with everything going on with what's going on in the world, I think universities, I think organizations and companies are going to say, hey, you know what? There's been a problem. You know, let's at least, you know, and we never said we wanted to give us a job. No, just give us a chance to present ourselves and to show our passion, to show our plan, and know that we're just more than recruiters. And I think what's going on hopefully could change some things, but at times it can be frustrating.
yeah.
But on the flip side, I've always been the one that just don't complain, just keep working, and you know what God got for you, can't nobody stop that. At the end of the day,
I'll give you a perfect example, man. You know, I'll give you Jerrance, I'll give you a perfect example. This probably was about maybe 6 years ago, man.
Mm-hmm.
Got online, Hoop Dirt, I think it was Hoop Dirt, one of those.
Right.
I saw a coaching position. Submit your resume. I did that. And you know, I
probably always over with.
Man, didn't even get a response.
Didn't even respond.
You know, and so it kind of left a bitter taste in my mouth.
Right.
Because I'm like, man, but if such and such does that, you know, who maybe book guy, video guy, I can break down, I'm an analytical dude. He gets the job before someone who knows the game really, you know, but need that opportunity. Then people always say this, Jerrance, and I don't understand it. Man, just keep trying, man. You get that shot. But if you're not giving me that shot, how am I gonna get that shot?
Right. Yeah. You're right. That's a good point.
You know, so I always say that to say, but man, I'm happy. You know what I'm doing now. I'm involved with kids, and you know, I told one listeners one time.
You know, when we come down that way, I gotta let you touch JJ for a couple of days.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. And I say it's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen. You know, whatever's my path, which way I gotta go, then that's the way I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna follow. And wait till that opportunity come, man, presents itself. So, but man, Peoria legend Jerrance Howard is in the building with us, guys. If you got any questions, you know, please feel free to write them on the timeline while I'm on it. And what Jerrance? Oh, I see a couple. Hold on, let me see. Illinois back in the AP top. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that, Jerrance. Oh, wait. Jerrance, they said, Jerrance, do you still breed orange and blue, or have you been gone long enough to where you don't?
Well, I didn't watch. I didn't watch it when it was hard right when I left, but I got a great relationship with Ronald Chin Coleman, with Chin down there, and I think Underwood, and you know, the AD was in school when I was down there. You know, so I mean, it's been really cool to watch them. You know, they redid this. You know, I still call it the Sony Hall, the State Farm building. They're about to get a new practice facility, but you know, that's my school. You know, I went there. I'm proud of it. You know, I'm proud of, you know, them. You know, I was disappointed too. Just think about that. In both of our situations, we was number one in the country, won 17 games in a row. Won every game on the road in the Big 12, which has never been done before. We're going into the Big 12 tournament, and we feeling good because we had the best big man in the country, one of the best. Devon Dotson, who was from Chicago originally, best point guard, and we had Marcus Garrett, who was the National Defense Player of the Year. And then we had Isaiah Moss, who was from Chicago, Simeon, who was just starting to figure it out. We had a sharpshooter, but we didn't have to make shots to win. So we like, man. We won 17 in a row. We as a coach and as a staff, we was like, we got a chance to win it all. And we don't even get to play. Then Illinois, they have the season they have, get back in the tournament for the first time, and they don't even get to go. So this COVID has affected a lot of things and put things in perspective, and it's bigger than basketball when you start talking about the number of people that we lost. I know I've had some close family and friends that we lost to COVID. So it's just been an unfortunate situation. That's why I think it's so It's going to be so refreshing. It's been refreshing to get back in the gym with the guys and workouts and practice and to be able to compete and bubble up, whatever we're going to do, win, just to know that we're going to play. It's really exciting as a coach.
Now, Jerrance, how many Big 12 titles have you won? I know Coach Self. How many Coach Self got on his belt?
Yeah, Coach Self has won the last 14 out of 16. And since I've been here, I've been here 8 years, 7 out of 8. We won 14 straight. We broke the record, UCLA record with John Wooden. And that's something that I'm very proud of because, in the Big 12, everybody wants to, knock us down. And, we get everybody best shot. But it prepares our kids for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I agree.
So what I like about our guys, like, okay, when they put that jersey on, that, bring it on, because you got to bring it, because every time we go on the road, it's everybody sell out. I'll be right in the locker room. They come to see us. It's us. So those are the games I love, and that's what I got from Coach Self and Coach Rob. On our staff is just, since Coach has been coaching at Tulsa, you go back and look at his track record. He's always won the conference because he always won his home games, and he programs. And we have a culture and we have a mindset that we supposed to win at home. How it was when they came in Assembly Hall. Let's get them out of here and we going to Cam's tonight.
That's right.
So it was a given, and that's what I love about Coach. So when we go on a roll, our mindset is like, okay, it's us against the world. These are the ones we want. If you tough and you're going to win, you got to win on the roll. So to win on the roll, every Big 12 game last year, it's never been done in the history of the Big 12. That's when you knew, because you could go anywhere, any site, and play basketball because defense travel. I know it sounds cliche, but we had some dogs, and we didn't have to make jump shots to win.
Right, and I think that's what makes Kansas basketball so great, really, because of that mental toughness that you guys have, that he instills in those players. That we at home, we supposed to win. So If you start thinking like that, you're gonna start competing every time you step on the court. You're gonna be like laughing and joking a little bit because this is a win. We've been trained, we've been programmed,
been prepped. Yeah. It's a culture. It's a way of life. Yeah. And I'm telling you, like my dentist, and bless him, he's so funny, and he'll tell you. So that's why I'm sharing. He said, Jerrance, I'm getting a divorce. I told her she could keep the house, she can have the boat, she can have the vacation house. I just need those tickets. I need so I like it's personal. Like, these people are diehard fans, and I love our fans. That's what makes Kansas basketball great. It's the people. It's the people here that make it special.
And you know what's so funny, man? Like I know you probably thought about this or think about it. 2 Illinois coaches are in the same conference, right up the road from each other.
I played and worked for both of them.
That's so crazy to me, because I'm thinking about
Kansas and K-State, fam. It's like Illinois, Indiana. They hate each other.
Right.
It's personal. It's like it's personal. Like, I can't even talk to Coach Weber, fam. It's like, what's up, and keep it moving. Because it's like, you can't wear purple around here. I had a nice purple polo. I wore it to work, but they looking at me. They was about to jump me. I had to go change clothes. Yeah, they don't like us and we don't like them, but that's how it's supposed to be. That's a real rival. You know what I mean?
That's a good rival. That's a good rival, man. And I remember coming to visit there, man, and I'm like, it's like that, And I think I came to.
You left right away. Yeah, you flew in there private and got up there. You got up there because we were supposed to hang out. But yeah, I was so happy to see you. I'm like, man, Lynn, I'm about to tell you. You about to see what I'm talking about.
Man,
like to feel it. It's a stretch in the game.
I videoed it, man. I'm like,
it's a stretch where our fans basically win the game for us.
Yeah.
It's a stretch in the second half where we go on an 8 to 12-0 run, and it's no looking back. Now, don't get me wrong, we got some great coaches. But over time, we go through a stretch where our fans get turned up, where
that energy.
We go up 8 or 10, and it's too late.
Yeah.
You just feel it. You be like, oh, here they come. So it's a beautiful thing.
Jerrance, I'm up here trying to enjoy my seat, right, at the game.
Right.
I'm like, man, they keep standing up, man. Stand up because I got to see. I can't see the game.
Yeah, buddy.
But man, I love that college atmosphere, man. And Kansas definitely have that atmosphere that, you know, a young man, a young student athlete would love to go come and play at, man, because that atmosphere is off the charts, man. And I love that culture there, man. I mean, I love everything about when I got there. You know, when I came and visit, I'm like the
special place.
Everybody was outside waiting. You know, before the night before the game. You know,
man, that's no matter who we play. It could be a D2 school or Kentucky. They camping out. They wait. I mean, that's what's it's genuine and it's sincere. It's like no matter. It's all about Kansas basketball and our players. And you don't get that in a lot of places.
So to all my listeners, if you're listening to us today, you have to go visit.
You gotta go.
Kansas, man. You have to go down there and visit and check it out, man, because it's off the charts. Those games are off the charts there, man. But Jerrance, man, we really appreciate you coming.
Love. I appreciate you having me. This meant a lot to me because you know how I feel about you, and I really appreciate everything you've done for me personally, for my foundation, and like I said, you know, when that book come out. It's called The History of Peoria Basketball, the Mecca of Small Town Hoops. I got to send you one. It have everything in there.
When you supposed to drop it?
On my brother's birthday in January. So I'll let you know. Hopefully, because when I started, this is what I love about my city and my people from Peoria. When I shot out there my idea, so many people want to get involved, and I got so many ideas. So it's like I want to do it right and do it the right way. But it's something special, and it's something that I'm very proud of. And it's not about me. It's about where, like our generation, like everybody hear about these stories and about all these great players from Peoria, but you can't go nowhere and go look it up. You can't go see Sean Livingston's story. You can't go, there's nowhere, you can go see Sean Livingston, but the Jerry Hesters and Howard Nathans, you can go see what they did, you know, when they're in Peoria and what other people felt about them. Like a part of the book is where people from Peoria are going to share their stories on the Manual Central game or when they first saw Sean Livingston, and that's going to be in the book. So it's going to be really the book that the city going to put together. So I love my city. I'm proud of my town, and we got some good things going on, and we got a legacy. And for me to be a part of it, to be a little bit a part of it, and to help to continue that, like me and Sean Livingston talk about it, we feel like we're responsible for that. We obligated to do that.
You got a couple of OGs there too, man. Tony Weisinger and
I just feel bad because T.Y. Mark Smith, T.Y. But for us, our generation, he started that pipeline from Peoria to Illinois. You know, you go T.Y., Mark Smith to Jerry Hester, and shout out to Jerry Hester. You know, he like a big brother to me. And then you talk about with Griff and Serge and Frank went there, and then when I left, and DJ Richardson was my first recruit. He was our first recruit when I got the job. And Big DJ played with my dad, Snake, who they call Big Snake, and played for Coach McClain. So we boxy, man. I'm like, man, ain't no way you, man, because DJ really didn't want to go to Illinois at first.
Wow.
He wanted to be a little different, and it was one of the best things he did, getting a degree there, from Illinois. But I appreciate you anytime. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get Sharon. He live here in Lawrence, so I know how to get him over here. I'm gonna put some wings on the grill in the game on. He'll be over. But much love and blessings. Keep it going, Led.
Man, we're gonna do that, man. And if you want to drop something, man, on these youngsters before we get up out of here, man, and then we gonna ride out. So just drop something, man.
Man, my thing now, Led, I used to always I'm into this now, and this is if I could share anything to coaches or to young coaches, and especially the youngsters in high school, find your passion early. Do whatever, play basketball, play an instrument, try out for this and that. And then once you get it, go. Because I think we waste so much time on doing all this and being good at this and being good at that, but go be great at something special that that God gave you. But I'm just saying, so whenever you find it, go be special and great and put everything in it.
My man.
Much love.
That's how we got to end it on that one, Jerrance. Brother, man, and much love, man. And make sure you tell Coach Self, man. He can call me.
Well, no, he gonna watch this. Yeah, that's love.
All right. Love you, bro. All right.
Yeah.
Peace. Man, That was a good one, man. Jerrance Howard, Peoria's finest, worked his way up, did a lot of great things, and I see much, much more success coming his way. He's going to be definitely a head coach, in this game, whether it's on the collegiate level or the NBA. He's definitely going to be doing his thing. I'm proud of him, man. Really, that work he put in, I saw it. I saw it. A lot of people don't want to put that work in, and he definitely put that work in to get to where he's at now. A lot of people wouldn't do that. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'd like to thank Jerrance Howard for tuning in and joining us. It was a good show, and I thank you guys for watching. Please tune in again. Tomorrow, I think we're going to do a special edition. I'm going to try to get my man Fred Flip Shepard on, who's also played at King High School. Want to get him on so he can talk and share his story. Thank you guys for tuning in. I holla. Peace.